The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to this webinar titled Network Security and Email Best Practices, Protecting Your Small Firm. Just a couple of items about the webinar. If you have any questions, please type them into the chat panel on the right side of your screen, and we'll do our best to address them during the Q&A portion of the session today. If we do not get to your question, I can contact you directly to follow up. And if you are viewing this subsequently as a webcast on demand, then please email me. My contact information is on the last slide of the presentation, and I'll be able to help you. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Michelle Jort, and I'm the Director of Business Development for Privacy Data Systems. We work primarily with legal, financial services, and small business industry professionals. Following the webinar today, you will receive a copy of this presentation, which does include several helpful links, and also, again, my contact information for any follow-up questions or needs that you may have. All right, let's get started. In recent months, law firms have become regarded as what some call soft targets for hackers. Now, what does that mean? It really means a couple of different things. First of all, the legal industry overall has been a little bit slower to adopt the same strength of security technology as, say, financial institutions, for example. So with that lack of privacy and security out there on the open internet, people are finding it relatively easy to steal information from law firms, hence the term soft target. Now, you know, with the technology, the lack of security, hackers are finding it easy to get information from law firms, and you know, you have to remember there are things that you have that they want. There's people out there who are hunting for information on negotiations, mergers, patents, maybe inside scoops. You name it, there are people out there looking for it. So to protect your clients, you need to be mindful of your own network security. Now, as a solo or small firm, you may not have an IT department or even a large network, but there are several things that are pretty easy to do, even with a very limited technical background. So first of all, let's talk about some common issues that you need to be concerned with at your firm. First of all is malware. Malware is virus and virus-like programs that can get onto your computers. The word malware is actually short for malicious software, and its sole purpose is to gain unauthorized access to a computer system. So when it is actually malicious, the intent is to gather sensitive information for unlawful purposes. One type of malware is spyware, and this is the kind of software that's designed to grab your passwords and your login details. And of course, those can be stored on locations in cyberspace, and people with know-how can then utilize your passwords and your login credentials to get into your private areas. The safest online websites will protect their login page with an HTTPS connection, and oftentimes you see a green bar and a lock. This means that the connection to this website is secure, and keystroke logging it by spyware is being prevented. So make sure that when you're logging in to a banking website, you know, anything where secure information is going to be transmitted, you look to see if there's an HTTPS connection, and then you'll know that your connection to that website is secure. Now, there's other less threatening types of malware that are really more annoying than anything. Adware. Adware is designed to hijack your browsing habits and then serve up ads based on your search history. For example, if you search for something in Google, you may then notice that all of a sudden you get pop-up ads and ads being displayed on websites for you. That is because adware has been looking at your browsing habits and just serving up advertisements based on that search history. So that's an example of somewhat harmless malware that can get on your computer. Now, we recommend that you take some active measures to protect your computers and your hardware with malware protection programs. Microsoft Security Essentials Norton. These are both very good, and we recommend both of those products. The Microsoft Security Essentials is actually free. They have a no-cost version. Now, you can find other free programs. Just go into Google, search free malware protection, and go from there. I actually have a couple of different malware scanning programs installed on my computer. And another thing to note with those programs is set the scans to run when you're not busy working. I have mine run, I think, at 2 a.m. Because while they're going through all of your files and your drives, it can slow down your computer a little bit. So set those scans to run to make sure your computer is nice and clean, at times that it doesn't affect you while you're trying to work. Now let's talk a little bit specifically about network protection. Here's a common scenario for small networks. What happens is people buy a wireless router and they plug it in and just start using it. They don't realize that they can and should set up both the security and the encryption on that wireless network, on the wireless router. Basically, a wireless network without the encryption turned on is like leaving the door to your house unlocked and wide open and then going on vacation. Too many wireless routers are still set to the default settings where usually the username is just the word admin, A-D-M-I-N, and the password is just blank. A lot of people know this, which means that your network security can be easily bypassed by someone who knows how. A minor downfall to leaving your router unlocked is providing free Wi-Fi access to people who live or work near you. So you could be footing the bill for their internet access. Now, a major problem is if that someone knows how and they get in with the admin and the blank password, they can actually take control of your network, which means that they can get in to your computer and they can see all of your information. And if you've got client data stored on your systems as well, they can get to that as well. So here's a simple guide. Just click here for how to. I found a real simple guide that, like I said, even novice computer users can just follow the easy steps and set up the security and turn on the encryption for your wireless router. Now, if the steps in this particular guide don't make sense for the product that you have, call your equipment company, if it's Netgear, Linksys, and just ask their support staff to give you the instructions for setting up the security on the router, and also ask them how to turn on the encryption. That way, your office network will be locked down and your computers will be safe from network intrusion. Now let's talk a minute about spoofing and phishing. Spoofing, just like it sounds, is tricking or deceiving computer systems or users. Often this is by using a fake identity. And phishing, just like you would think, casting out your line and reeling in a fish, it's spelled a little different, but it's the act of attempting to acquire information by pretending to be a trustworthy entity. So spoofing is people that are pretending to be you or your firm. Now, reputable companies, especially financial companies like banks, PayPal, these are often targets for this type of activity. You may get an email that looks very realistic from your bank. Here's an example on this slide of one that's real famous and goes around quite often from eBay. So you get this email, looks like it's from eBay. It tricks you with a little story about how we couldn't verify your information and maybe it's changed, it's incomplete, and provides you a link to click on. Please update and verify your information by signing into your account below. Now, they've got the eBay logo on their header here, got a trustee seal down at the bottom, trademark information, links about eBay, and the link itself has the word eBay in it a couple of times. So this link is actually not going to eBay. It's going to someone that has set this up, a hacker, who may then be able to steal your information from you. Because if you look, when you click on this link, it opens up a web page that asks you to enter your user ID, your password, and then on further, your credit card information, including the expiration date, even the CVV code. So what do you think someone could do with this information? They could definitely shop with your credit card. Is this same type of attack going to happen to you or your firm? Probably not. It's not very likely. But it is very easy for someone to make an email look like it's coming from you. Someone with a motive could try to be seeking information in an inappropriate way, maybe from your client, a business partner. And you may have seen notices from people that you do business with that say something along the lines of, we will never send you an email asking for your account number, or we won't ever ask you for this or that. Let your clients know that you will never send them an unsecure email asking for private or privileged case-related information. That way, if they receive a fishy-looking email, it would definitely be a flag. Now, shifting gears a little bit, let's talk about email, really electronic information as a whole. Email has really changed the way that we all do business. You know, it is much easier to request or send information electronically by email than pick up the phone or send a fax. And the American Bar Association is getting involved. They actually recently voted to include in their model rules mention of such materials and documents that are in electronic formats. So it is not just paper anymore. It's your emails, email attachments, the files stored on your computers, and so on. Now, as an attorney, you have an obligation to competently safeguard information against unauthorized access. And just like we talked about a moment ago, two big openings for this potential unauthorized access are unsecured network and unsecured email. Now, like I said, email is the most popular mode of communication for most people these days. There was a big survey done recently by an organization called the International Legal Technology Association, and they polled thousands of attorneys. According to the response, pretty surprising numbers, 75% of lawyers either don't use email encryption or they don't know if the email that they use is encrypted or not. So only 25% of attorneys out there are actively using an email encryption product. But encryption aside, overall, email is not always confidential. In fact, it's not confidential at all unless you have extra security applied. Here are some good examples of how email can be damaging. There's a couple of cases cited here. In these cases, information was sent and received using the employer-provided email. This is the email address that your work provides to you. It was found in both of these cases that by using the employer-provided email, the plaintiffs were unknowingly waiving privilege. So even in the act of sending the email, if there was a reasonable expectation of privacy, that doesn't really even matter because the email itself and the contents within are property of the employer, not the employee. Both of these cases are great examples, and in both, the plaintiffs did not win. It was concluded that the emails sent by these people to their attorneys did not constitute confidential communication between client and lawyer because the company's policies clearly stated that the employees, for one, should not be using their work email for personal use, and also that the company has the right and might inspect any files and messages at any time. So the employees that were using the work-provided email address had no right of privacy with respect to the email messages. Actually, in the Holmes case, the court opinion went on to explain that the attorney-client communication does not lose its privileged character for the sole reason that, information was sent electronically, but that the means involved in the delivery of that information caused the privilege to be lost. In fact, they went on to say that in the circumstances of this case, it was like this woman was consulting with her attorney in the employer's conference room in a real loud voice with the door wide open so that any reasonable person would expect that the discussion would be overheard. So, that might be a little bit overstated, but nonetheless, this appeal was overturned and the judge favored for the employers. So even if your clients use their personal email address to communicate with you, big email providers like Gmail, Hotmail, AOL, for example, they all have very broad waivers of privacy. In fact, here's an excerpt directly from Gmail's terms of use. They actually use algorithms that scan all the non-encrypted emails for marketing purposes. So these are complex computer programs that can pick out keywords from your emails and learn about you as a consumer. This was really big news recently, but it certainly hasn't hurt their business. They actually go on to say that if you want your email to be private, you should use encryption, and they offer encryption as well. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't use email. Of course, it's a great way to communicate. Your clients expect it. And email scanning aside, sending information by email is the fastest and least expensive way to get things done. So with that, here's a few best practices for using your regular email. First of all, don't use the term "from the desk of" in an email. This might be appropriate on stationery, but in an email, if it doesn't come from your name, your first name, last name, it leaves open some questions. Who wrote this email? Was it you? Was it your assistant? Was it another attorney in your office? It's best to avoid a generic alias in most cases with email because people want to know, and they're paying to communicate with you. Also, because email is a near instant way to communicate, people expect a very timely response. It's different than paper. Studies say that an email should be responded to within 24 hours. Now, of course, that's not always possible, but just be aware that that's the standard expectation, and just don't take too long to make a response. Even if it's just a quick reply, I'll get to this soon. Another big mistake to avoid is the wrong recipient in the to field. I'm sure everyone has an oops story. I've got several myself. You should always double check the recipient's name and address before hitting send. And a lot of email programs these days have the autocomplete setting. If you start typing in John, J-O, it might pop in Joe first because J-O-E comes before J-O-H. So just beware when you're typing in the name of the person that you're emailing that it is putting the right recipient in the to field. Also, be really careful with the CC, the carbon copy, the blind copy, and most importantly, the reply all. I put another link here which has kind of a funny little example, but in this case, an attorney sent a message to the opposing counsel and BCC'd his client. So the client did an inadvertent reply all, thought they were replying back to the attorney, and actually transmitted the response as well back to opposing counsel. And once the attorney realized what was going on, they asked for the opposing counsel to delete the email, and they actually would not. So you may or may not be able to retract the message if that happens to you. Now, as far as the professionalism of email, another good practice is if you can, avoid the free email service. So using a Hotmail email address, for example, can look cheap and unprofessional. You can get your own domain for very low cost. GoDaddy, they offer services that start at about $10 a year. And what that means is you can pick an @joesmithlaw.com domain, and then you can set up email with that. Now, having a domain doesn't mean that you actually have to have a website. You can just purchase the domain, park it, you don't have to maintain a site, and just set up the email. So that way you can separate your business emails from your professional ones and also provide a very professional-looking email address. It just, makes your practice look larger than it may be. Now, lastly, with email comes a responsibility to maintain compliance with regulations that dictate what you can and cannot send by unsecure email. How long do you store and archive your digital data? You should research, or ask your current email provider, one, how long are the messages that you send and receive stored on their servers? So if you accidentally delete the message or the attachments in the message, Can you retrieve that? Is it on their servers? Can you get it back? Is your email backed up? What happens to all your emails if you want to change providers? These are all very reasonable questions to ask, and your provider likely has all the answers to these questions in their, in their knowledge base, probably their terms of use. So when you use an email program to transmit sensitive information, be mindful of regulations such as HIPAA, GLBA. Make sure that you're abiding by the rules that those regulations dictate. If you have any questions about regulatory compliance, if you're unsure about, if you work in healthcare, financial services, in those fields, and you're unsure about any of these regulatory compliance issues, please do email me directly, and I'll be happy to answer your questions, or I can point you in the right direction. All right, I hope that you've enjoyed this presentation so far and that you've learned something new, maybe have a fresh perspective on your own firm's network security and some email best practices. As the sponsor of today's session, and in closing, I have prepared a brief demonstration of Send It Certified. Now, Send It Certified is powered by Privacy Data Systems, and it is a secure communications technology. It provides a comprehensive solution for attorneys to both send and receive messages and large file attachments using a platform that's as easy and fast as regular email, but with military-strength encryption and the security that you need to protect your clients and your firm. Now, Send It Certified is really a whole suite of tools that's available all in a single subscription. So you can send case files, for example, and not have to worry about the security risk of using your regular email. Also, your clients do not have to have an account, and they don't have to set up or sign up for any kind of a portal to send messages or files to you, which is pretty cool. And I'll show you that in just a moment. Send It Certified does not require any installation or any help from an IT company to use. It's very user-friendly, and it's all web-based. The cost is very reasonable. You may already bill your clients for postage or courier fees today, so you might consider, should you utilize this tool, adding a line item for a secure delivery fee. It can literally pay for itself if not providing you an additional revenue source during the seasons in which you're very busy. Again, this slide just simply shows you all the tools that are included with the Send It Certified subscription, which are secure email with proof of delivery, a secure link that you can share with your clients to receive messages and files directly from them, secure online storage, cloud storage, store documents when you're on the go securely, and then you can access them from any computer instead of having to put them on your local laptop that you might accidentally lose. And then the electronic signature capability gives you a way to get valid electronic signatures from your clients, or you can sign something and send it to someone else. And this is all online and paperless. So I'll show you how that all works in just a moment. All right, I am going to end this show and open up a regular web browser. So I can give you a quick look at how all of this works, and then I can show you how you can hook yourself up with a free trial account and then learn more about our subscription options as well. So Send It Certified, as I mentioned, is completely web-based. You can log into it from any computer. Now, I'm using Internet Explorer, but if you can use Safari, Firefox, Chrome, any type of browser to access your Send It Certified account. So I'm going to log in with my username and password. Send It Certified also includes biometric authentication, meaning that if you have a subscription and you set up your fingerprint with our software, you can actually log in by scanning your fingerprint on your built-in laptop scanner or just a simple USB fingerprint scanning device. We actually have patented biometric authentication technology at Send It Certified. All right. Now, if you're going to send what we call a secure package, you can send a secure package to anyone. So again, the recipient does not need to have an account, and they don't have to sign up for the free service or get a free account. They don't have to register or do anything. I'll show you in a minute what it's like to receive, but here is how easy it is to send. So, very similar to an email. You can type a subject, add text, cut and paste things into here. There's a text editor. You can also add voice and video to your secure package. This allows you to just simply speak your message instead of typing it, or you can, send a video to your clients as well. That just adds multimedia to your messaging. Any individual secure package can be sent up to 10 recipients at a time, or you can send to groups. If you have set up for a particular case, maybe a certain set of people that always gets communications about that case, just set them up as a group, and then you pick them once, and they'll go out to everyone in that group. You can choose recipients that are already stored in your contacts area, or you can add someone new on the fly. Attachments, very similar. You can upload very large file attachments. This software does not really have a limitation on how large of a file you can send. So you can send very, very large files, documents, images, scans, for example. Some artwork files get very, very big. Any type of file as well. You can send a zip file, an executable file. Send It Certified makes it easy to attach files of virtually any size or type. So again, you can select something that you already have stored in your secure vault, or you can upload a new file and browse from any location that's already on your computer. That does say file size limit of 100 megabytes, but if you need to send a file larger than that, we have the large file upload capability here in your vault. So what we recommend is to send a file larger than 100 megabytes, you upload it first into your secure vault, and then you'll just be able to just select it from the vault and click send. Now I'm going to log out of here and put on the hat of the recipient. Let me show you how easy it is to receive a secure package. I'm going to put on the hat of a client, and actually I'm a new client. So I've spoken to you on the phone today, and you decided after our conversation that you'd like me to go ahead and sign a representation agreement so that we can start doing business together. So I'm Kathy, client here, and this secure package has come from you. As the recipient, literally all I have to do is click on this button, click here to receive secure package. Now it's got some instructions down here for me. If this button isn't showing, I can follow these quick and easy steps to get into this message, so just keep that in mind. All right, so here is the page that pops up when I click the button, Delivery Acceptance. I need to simply check this box to verify that I am indeed Kathy, client. Now, if you had wanted to send me something sensitive, you can also add a password so that in addition to checking this box, there would be a field displayed where I just simply type in the password that you had told me to use. That's an option that just adds another layer of security. In this case, I'm going to check the box and open up the secure package. All right, so you've typed me a message. I can read that, and then I can hit secure reply to you saying thank you, I got the information, or print out the message. In this case, I've asked you to sign something. So the attachment that I've sent to Kathy here is requiring a signature. This actually is going to show you the secure signature capability as well. So Alan Smith has sent Kathy, client, a document that's requiring signature, and here it is. So Kathy can view and sign the document. It is a representation agreement. So I'm going to click here and just show you how easy it is to use the Send It Certified Secure Signature feature. All right, the client would be instructed to just follow the easy instructions and fill in the blanks. So here, need to just type the name. Hit apply, and you can either scroll down or hit next. I'll just go to the next field that I need to sign because in the nature of the demonstration here, I'm not going to sit here and read through this entire document. So here I am signing the document. Now, Send It Certified utilizes technology that is e-sign compliant, meaning that it is putting a unique ID and a time, date, and stamp on this document, as well as the signer's IP address. So it's verifying the date, the time, and the location that the signature was applied by the signer. That makes it legally binding in most cases. Now, keep in mind, some items it's not legal to electronically sign, and so you'll just want to make sure that that you know what those are. I think, for example, a will is something that actually has to be signed by wet ink. So just make sure, before you start sending documents for signature, there are a few items legally that still require a wet signature, which means an actual pen on a piece of paper. But this is ours, and so for a lot of contracts, paperwork, you can use the electronic signature feature, and it really can speed up the way that you do business, and of course it is paperless. So as the signer, Kathy can now view the signed document or download it and save locally to her machine. So I'm going to close out of this and close out of this. Now, I'm going to open up, here's some documents that, that Kathy sent to her attorney. Let me open this up and show you one more feature of Send It Certified. So the attorney asked Kathy to send him some paycheck stubs and visa statements. So again, here's the attachments. This message was coming from the client to the attorney, and in a minute I'll show you how she can send that to him without having to have an account. But I'm going to download this file and save it to my desktop. Sorry, sometimes the GoToWebinar product sort of slows down how fast things work because I am recording this. Let's see. So it opened up in my other monitor. Here is the paycheck stubs. I'm just going to close that, for example. And I'm going to close out of here. Now let me show you the proof of delivery that is inherent with every message that you send with Send It Certified. All right. For any secure package that you send, you can always check your Outbox and see the complete and full log of any action that has happened with your message. So you can see when the alert went out, that the client accepted delivery. This is real similar to FedEx. It'll show you exactly what time of day this message was received by the client. And also, it'll let you know what actions happen on behalf of any attachments that are within this message. So I can see that in this case it was an e-sign, it has been signed, and that the alert went back to the sender with a signed copy of the document. So the proof of delivery log is very comprehensive. It'll show you every time that the message is accessed, and it's irrefutable. It works better than the read receipt because the person had to physically check the box. There's no more of them saying, "Oh, I didn't see that," because you can prove by your delivery log that the message was indeed received by the client. You also get an acceptance notice in your email. As soon as Kathy client opens your message, you get a quick email that just says, "Notice the secure package was delivered." It's like your delivery receipt. You can also set up an SMS alert. So if you want to get a text message as soon as this message is delivered, it's that important. You can have that going as well to your cell phone, just giving you some peace of mind and assurance that your message has been received. Now, How do your clients send documents to you? Let me just show you a quick example of a law office that's using Send It Certified to receive information from their clients. So in this case, they have in their menu, in their client section here, a client message center. So I'm just going to click on that, and you'll see that they've put some information here about the security of the interface that they use. So this message center allows clients to communicate with this firm electronically and also send and receive large electronic documents. So they've put some information here to give their clients peace of mind about the security that they use. But right here, please click here to access our message center. They have a personal secure inbox for this attorney. Now, we make this inbox in a couple of different variations. This is what's included in the individual subscription. So this particular attorney, he is a client of Send It Certified. He has a personal secure inbox, and he's linked it to his law office website. He is in solo practice. So any client of Scott's can type a message to him, put their information in as the sender, attach very large files, and then click Send to the attorney. And that way they can communicate with him securely, and this is a service that he provides to his clients. Hopefully you'll think that this is easier than a portal. The client doesn't have to remember what the password was to that portal, and they just come here to the website, send a message, and done. And he receives that very securely, as I showed you a moment ago. We also have corporate options. If you have several attorneys in your office, let me just go back in here, you can have what's called the corporate secure inbox. It can have your firm's logo on it. Here would be a drop-down where you can pick from the different attorneys in your office, or maybe it's departments if you want to have your accounting department here. Perhaps if you have different practice areas, you could have the different practice areas listed here. There's a lot of options for this product, and so just ask us for more information on how you can expand upon this and just really make it a very comprehensive communication solution for you. Now, let me show you how you can get a hold of a trial. You can try all of this that I've shown you today at no cost to you with no commitment for 14 days just by signing up for a trial. On our website, privacydatasystems.com, just click on the orange button, and within minutes, you can have your own Send It Certified account. And if you like it, if it's going to work for you, at any time during your trial, you can simply convert to a subscription. You can pick annual, monthly billing options, and then we also have subscription levels for multiple users. So if you've got several attorneys in your office that would benefit from utilizing Send It Certified, you can sign up for a group account, and the price is, of course, very reasonable, and we have bulk pricing options. So that concludes the presentation today. Again, visit us on the web at privacydatasystems.com, and you can learn about all the features of Send It Certified, the pricing structures that we have, and then sign up for a free trial. Thank you so much for your time. I've enjoyed having you attend the presentation today. And again, contact us at any time with any questions about secure communication technology. Thanks a lot and have a great day.